Hi, I'm Matt Hildebrand with Don's Appliances, joined by Maggie Cham of madDesigns.
Thanks for having me, Matt.
Thanks for joining us, and be sure to keep an eye out for Pittsburgh's finest kitchens that are coming up. We've got a featured segment on Maggie and one of her best design, well, one of your favorite designs?
We can't say that because every client should feel they're their favorite.
One of your unique designs?
It's a really special home. It was a wonderful family to work with, and so I would say it's just a really special project.
Yeah, and obviously every project has their own intricacies and their own unique features about it.
Every client is looking for their own set of needs for how they entertain or function in their house, or how their family operates, or how a couple operates. And as much overlap as there might be, it's really interesting how many different things people ask for. And you really have to be a good listener and listen to what each client's needs and wants really are to give them the best finished product.
So walk me through that process. So I have no idea, I sell appliances. I know what's cool in a kitchen.
Yeah.
I may not know what a cool kitchen should be or what I think I want. I think the hardest thing for some people, especially like my wife and I, we sometimes have a hard time finding what we like. So how do you get that out of people?
I don't ask you at all about what you like. I'll ask you about what you want to feel in a space. I'll ask you about what you want to do in the space. I ask for a lot of adjectives and descriptors that have nothing to do with the kitchen itself to get at what you're actually looking for that you might not realize. And by listening to, whether I want cozy and warm or bright and fresh or new and contemporary, or I want to be modern farmhouse, or, whatever style you think you are, I'm going to ask questions about, do you like the lines on this? Do you like the lines on that? Do you like these colors versus those colors? And I'm really just trying to get a feel for who you are and your personality, and then I can narrow down what makes sense for you.
So kind of setting the field, so to speak, mm-hmm. and then maybe putting that perimeter fence around to kind of narrow it down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a designer, and I can get myself all mixed up for my own self. And I talk to my design friends to help me rein myself in when I'm doing things in my own. Only because, not from a function and all, but I see this all the time, and I love so many different kinds of styles of tile or appliances and countertop. I love all the stuff. And I could end up with a big mishmash, which a client easily can do, and it'll end up looking like just a random showroom of things. And that's what you don't want. And so, as an objective listener, hearing what you want, what your needs are, kind of what your vibe or style is, then I can go, okay, let's look over this way. And we're not going to look at this stuff. I do it for myself. I'm like, oh, it's all gorgeous. So what do I want? And what do I want to actually live with long term for myself? I mean, it's a thing.
And from a time frame perspective, from that first meeting to when selections are made to when the project's on the docket. What is that? And I know every project's different, obviously.
Yeah.
But let's say it's an existing home
Mm-hmm.
that maybe they want to do a kitchen remodel.
Yep.
And then maybe they want to do multiple design changes in adjoining rooms.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, not a lot of. But what does that look like from a time frame? And I know it's hard.
It does vary because, ideally, it might take from the time we were to start to the time we're building might actually be like 8 weeks. You really want to spend some good planning time to make sure that you're getting it right. It's better to plan, and it's that old kind of also like measure twice, cut once. Mm-hmm. It's the same with just planning the aesthetics, the design, and all your selections, because it's long term. that being said, different people need different things. So some people need to think about it and sit with it a little more. Other people are extremely decisive, and it goes really quick.
So it could be, let's say, a couple meetings or 2 or 3 meetings.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, because a lot of people, I think, that may not have considered getting a designer, but really they should. It's not a horrible process.
No, in fact, it's the opposite. I mean, that's my hope. That's my goal with all my clients. I tell them our goal here is for me to bear all that stress for you. That's my goal. Any stress where you get overwhelmed by all of the options, you get overwhelmed by how do you know if this is really where I should put this set of drawers or should I put the appliance? That's on me. I'm hoping to take all of that out of the equation for you and simplify it and when I say hand it to you, I mean it's really based though still on our conversations, what I think your needs are, and when they question, or I had a client say, hey, I'm just playing devil's advocate, why would I want my fridge here and not here? And I'm like, let's talk about that. And I told her why, and she, oh, okay, I see what you mean. And if she disagreed, that's fine. But those conversations get a lot more streamlined, I think, when you have somebody who's experienced to guide you through.
And magnifying things, especially in a kitchen, as to how things are being used,
yes,
or how a particular client uses that space.
Yes.
I agree. I think it's huge. And all too often, I think, sometimes when people go to, let's say, a box store for a kitchen, they're not qualified enough a lot of times to go over a lot of the different aspects in a kitchen.
Well, I think what I've seen when I've had some clients come to me after being in a box store, and I mean nothing against the box store,
sure,
but they've said, here, this fits here, this fits here, this fits here, and I can put this many boxes, meaning cabinets, here, and I can put this appliance here, this appliance here, this appliance here. But then a client will tell me, but this is how we cook and I need room for 2 cooks. Okay, well then you don't have enough clearance quite here, and really the refrigerator is now going to be behind you when you're cooking, and it's easy for you to grab ingredients, but it's also easy for the kids to be right at your back when you're trying to cook and they're trying to get a snack or something out of the fridge. So that's not ideal. So I think by having the conversation with a client about how do you use the space, and are you left-handed or right-handed?
Yeah.
And how many cooks are actually, does one cook, does one clean, does one do, but all those are questions I ask, and any good designer will ask to get at what's a really good layout for you? What's a good place to have the drawer bank for these things? And what do you want next to your oven? You know, when I'm cooking and busy at my
and
my
from
range.
A design aspect, that's where, going to somebody like you who is great at that design and how that all intertwines is best. And obviously, if people want to find you, they go to madDesignspgh.com.
Right.
You're on Instagram, madDesignspgh.com.
Yes.
And be sure to look for Pittsburgh's finest kitchens coming out soon. Thanks.